Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 19th through the 25th. And during that time, we start off with a waxing crescent moon. And that's a time of heightened senses when we're just starting to plan and make those first steps on those things that we've decided to do on the new moon. And kind of just getting to work on those things when we have our first disruption that comes in the form of the first quarter moon. And that happens on the 22nd or the 23rd, depending on where you are. And it could just be a couple of hours of disruption up to a day. But it's when you feel impulsive, impatient, kind of like the new moon, your mind's active, or the full moon, I mean. And it's hard to just get anything accomplished. So just know that that's coming your way, and either make the appropriate plans to take an easy day that day, or to use it as an opportunity to learn how to be in control of those impulses. So we then move into the waxing gibbous energy, and that is kind of, back to work, able to buckle down, where the moon's starting to gain strength in size and light, and it's a good time to allow your intuition to come into play, and your introspection, but a good time to be flexible, make adjustments, but get things done. So those are the moon energies. Keep those in mind as we move through the week, is what I was trying to say. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Aquarius. So as always, please take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is it's time to take action. All right, let's see what the Aquarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you keep a spiritual journal. So oftentimes we're learning things, and you just kind of forget things, and it's just good to just keep track of them. So either daily or once or twice a week, just jot down, this was a synchronicity that I had this week, or a dream that might have been significant, or just something that you've learned, something you're trying to work on. It's just a good thing to have to look back on later, when I wish I would have one from my childhood, because I've had so many interesting experiences throughout my life, and I can't remember some. I remember the experience, but I can't remember how old I was. Like, this thing happened and it was quite significant, but how old was I can't remember. Wish I had a journal to tell me. Anyway, that is my fun weekly reminder for you this week. So let's get into this reading. Aquarius, July 19th through the 25th. It's time to take action. Your present energy right now is the Seven of Pentacles, which I've seen quite a bit in this series of readings. So a lot of us are waiting for, some sort of harvest to come in. Sometimes this is financial or material. Of course, it is a card of Pentacles, but sometimes it's just, human energy, where you've put the energy into, maybe friends, family members, and at times you might need that energy to come back at you. And so you've harvested some things. And if you need something like that right now that isn't material, but is more, in the other realms, then, maybe you're waiting on something to come in for you. Your current situation is the Three of Swords. I'm sorry, Three of Wands. Not Three of Swords, that I have seen that card a lot this time. Three of Wands, which is about travel, new ventures, really thinking about the future, thinking what's next, what's on the horizon for me. So do you have new ventures that you are thinking of? You might be in this time where you're just being very thoughtful. Of course, if it's time to take action, you might be in that information gathering stage and trying to decide, what is my next move? What is my next venture? What's the next thing that I want to take part in? At the root of your situation this week is the Judgment card. So, the Judgment card can be about when some sort of truth comes to light, that it changes your awareness. This is about looking at things from a different perspective, and maybe judging something rightly or wrongly, hopefully, and you might be feeling judged a little bit yourself as well. So that kind of happens too. But this is at the root of it, is that, and usually it's some truth that comes to light that makes you look at a situation differently. So let's say you're thinking about traveling somewhere, maybe just to take a quick trip, week-long vacation somewhere, and you had heard about the certain place, but you kind of had a negative judgment about it because of some information that you had. But someone tells you something very positive, and all of a sudden that new information just changes your awareness so that you're like, oh, and you kind of see things more in a positive light. So that's what I'm saying, that there's some sort of judgment at the root of this, but some truth that comes to light that makes you maybe change your awareness about it. In your recent past, here is the Lover's card. So you might be doing all of this in the realm of a relationship, or at least considering that relationship. You may have a new relationship that's coming in, or you may have just had a renewal of your relationship. So maybe it's making you want to take a trip, So for some of you, this could be the first trip together. For some of you, this could be the 18th trip together. For some of you, the 20th, so whatever that might be, you're going to keep that person in mind as you're making these plans and thinking about maybe this new venture or this trip that you might take. But time to take action. So what's on your mind this week is the Hermit card. So you might be going in a little bit to kind of decide your next step, go within. It's That's always a good thing to do. Again, when we've got that waxing gibbous energy is about your introspection and using your intuition to go within, and that's exactly what the Hermit is about really, just quieting your mind a little bit and asking yourself those questions, and knowing that inner wisdom does lie within you, that all the answers are in there. You just have to quiet your mind sometime to find them and let them bubble up to the surface. What is just ahead of you this week is the Star card. So this is about being on course, following a certain direction, kind of where the universe might steer you. Um, so let's see. That now puts us at 4 major arcana all around you here. So all around this harvesting and this thinking about where you want to go. So the Star card is about kind of moving in the direction that the universe opens for you. So again, maybe it opens some path to travel or to some new venture. And sometimes you just have to be the person that says yes. Okay, let's do it. Wasn't really what I was thinking about, but there's the door. I need to walk through it for some reason. Maybe you're being guided to intuitively, right? What's in your advice position is King of Cups. So as you do this, you're going to be doing it with a very stable emotional sense and balance, that you understand your emotions about things. This is about knowledge about how you might react to anything that's going on around you, and also your constituents, any people around you that are reacting in some emotional manner. Just like you understand it, you and you understand it, and you just it just makes sense, right? You have the you know it. You know why they're reacting that way, and you're okay with it. You are maybe not okay with it, but you at least understand the motivation for different emotions of people around you. And that's important. That's a good thing. So the advice is to go ahead and take note of that and bring that into your awareness too. And maybe let's not judge, right? Not judge about it. What is beyond your control this week is the King of Pentacles. So look at all the kings coming in. So where this is the knowledge of emotions in the people around you, this is knowledge of the material world, and also not only your world, but the world around you. So beyond your control, to have those king energies where you just kind of feel like you know everything this week. That's good. You're feeling like, I'm in control of things, and especially when it comes to emotions and the material world, I'm good. Let's see what else happens here. What's secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? So the Emperor comes up here. So is it your secret desire? Is this new venture is to build something new? Maybe you're building on this relationship here. That could be, or you're trying to avoid building anything there at all. There's no right or wrong there. It's just up to you to answer that question and then understand your answer about it. But are you wanting to build something right now? Is it your secret desire? Or are you trying to avoid that? And you may just need to ask yourself that question. And your outcome position here is the Knight of Pentacles. So it looks like there will be some sort of action in I think the material, the financial, and what is this? A down payment maybe on a trip that you want to take. Maybe you've taken this all into consideration and you want to build this relationship up by going somewhere. Sometimes with a new relationship, you don't really know someone until you travel with them. That's something they say. And even with an older relationship, sometimes that's just fun to build build new experiences and things together. So, but it looks like you will be taking some sort of action anyway when it comes to the material or the financial realm. What is hidden from you here, Aquarius, at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles, which is about a new path. So it's not something new here. It's something that you've maybe done before or you're already engaged with. Again, it might be that you're waiting on this harvest to come in. Was your present energy. Is it the harvest of seeds that you've planted in this romantic relationship? Very well could be. And again, maybe a trip is due. I kind of see that that's what's happening here, is that you might want to travel or enter into some sort of new venture. You're moving in together, that sort of thing. Are you building something together? Building a life together could be. um, and again, if you're already in an established relationship, you're just kind of adding to those things that already exist. And so it just kind of depends on where you are. But on your mind is really to think about your next step and to take that time to go inward and think pretty hard about it. But I feel like the universe is going to open some doors so that that question and that it's like the answer is very easy with that star card. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. We do have quite a few major arcana. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a lot of royalty, which also could involve family members. Sometimes royalty. So there might be some male figures around you giving some guidance. That just needed to be said. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for you, Aquarius, is to be creative. Okay, so whatever it is, whatever action needs to be taken this week, it looks like it's some sort of creative action. So watch the signs of the universe. Ask yourself if you're trying to build or not, and understand that answer. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Aquarius this week. And the card that you get is the card called Ease, which is a lovely swing. I have one of these in my backyard. It's one of my favorite things. Today, I allow life to be easy. Okay, maybe that is a vacation. So maybe if you've been working really hard and life does seem to be like, oh, I've planted all these seeds. I'm waiting on this harvest to come in, and that maybe it is time for life to be easy. That may or may not influence if you decide to take some sort of trip or vacation. Whatever it is, be creative. It is time to take some action and make a decision on it, but I think you're going to do that. But make sure that whatever it is, allow life to be easy. It can be easy it's fine. Sometimes we just relax and let life be what it is. So, Aquarius, I wish you all the best with this. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. Again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop a comment down below and let me know. Did you decide on some vacation? Are you going on some fun trip? I'd love to hear about that. Or if this resonated in any other way, that would be interesting to hear too. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is really, really kind of you. So thank you in advance for doing that. It helps my channel so much, and I do appreciate that of you. Also, more importantly, it helps you find me next week. Come on back and let's see where this energy goes. So thanks so much, Aquarius. Good luck with this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.